and welcome to the Midland Weekend show. I'm Tom Wilkinson. We'll be seeing just what our journalists have got up to over the past 7 days, and we'll also be taking a look at some of the best stories from Big Centre TV. Now, it's been just weeks after the Duke of Cambridge stepped onto the pitch at Wembley Stadium and delivered heartfelt tributes to the victims of the Paris terrorist attacks last month. And this week, he's been right here in the West Midlands to support a project which aims to achieve world peace through one of the world's most popular sports. Roshni Patel has this report.
A royal return. Just a fortnight after Her Majesty herself was welcomed to the UK's second biggest city, the Duke of Cambridge paid another visit to Birmingham for the third time in as many years. Prince William had the warmest of welcomes down at Saltley Academy in Birmingham earlier today, where he watched over a number of football matches as part of a unique pilot project called Football for Peace.
You're too steady a keeper there, Dominic.
A national charity, Football for Peace is rolled out across 7 schools in Birmingham with one goal in mind: to bring together children from different backgrounds, culture and communities. And how? By using football as a universal language to encourage positive social change. At the centre of the charity sits its Ambassador Leadership Programme, which sees boys and girls aged between 14 and 16 from the 7 schools become youth ambassadors.
63 military conflicts right now where we are sitting here.
Along the way, they take part in many peace tournaments and specially designed workshops teaching them all about equality, diversity and inclusion.
My mother, who's been my role model and given me the platform and is the real reason why I am where I am today.
And these students that have completed the scheme had the pleasure of being presented their certificates by our very own Prince. Backed by Prince William himself and thousands of footballers across the globe, Football for Peace hope that the game can help resolve some of the conflicts within our world today. This is Roshni Patel for the Midlands in Birmingham.
Unfortunate penalty there from Prince William. Now, with Christmas just 17 days away, many schools across the region are celebrating all things festive, but one school in particular is celebrating all things diverse. The Arthur Terry Secondary School and Sixth Form in Sutton Coldfield was host to hundreds of local primary school children, all there to participate in the multicultural festival. Monica Plaha has this report.
After popular demand, it's back for the 7th year. Yes, it's Unity in Diversity Day at the Arthur Terry Secondary School in Sutton Coldfield, which celebrates all things diverse.
Oh, it's fantastic. The kids from our school, it was all organised by the GCSE students themselves. They're just in year 10. They fund it out their own money, and the visiting 200 kids from the local primary schools are just having a great time. And what we like to do here at Arthur Terry is celebrate the breadth of Britain and Birmingham's eclectic communities. Right now there's a lot of tension and trouble in the world, and rather than take a sort of prevent negative approach, we want to promote a positive, integrated approach.
There are more than 30 stalls, each promoting a different community group. The event also includes local restaurants stirring up fresh Balti cuisines and displaying cookery demos, a musician playing the Caribbean steel pan and another playing the Scottish bagpipes. Plus, pupils enjoy playing the dole, a traditional Bhangra drum, but it would be no festival without the man himself, yes, Santa.
Are you all having fun today?
Yeah! Yeah!
And what's your favourite bit?
All of it. All of it. All of it. Probably the football. Probably the football. Yeah, the football. I like finding food. Yeah, me too.
It's all to do with like community diversity, and we're doing Bhangra and Bollywood, so we've been doing lots of different stuff for that.
And then so we've got the suits, we've got dance, and then we're getting students to say a couple phrases so they know how the language works and stuff like that.
And how have they been finding it?
They find it quite well to say the phrases, actually. Like, there's some phrases I can't even say and they can just say it.
And they're quite eager to learn.
Yeah, and they love the food, tasting all the food.
So it's quite foreign as well. It's not something that they're used to.
What have you been up to? What have you been involved in?
The assault course with the little children, and then
doing activities with like the children when they come to the stall.
The festival has been funded by the Year 10 students of the school. A 50p here and there has allowed children from local primary schools to learn and experience diversity in fun and interesting ways.
Well, it just helps people understand that actually difference is a good thing, hence the title, Unity and Diversity. We don't have to all be the same. We share things in common, but also celebrate our differences, and it's an advantage, not a weakness. Today's world is a globalised world, and in Birmingham particularly, we have people from over 200 different nations here in Birmingham, and it's so important we get the message out to the council and beyond that actually there's unity and there's harmony and difference, and it's a great event. It's a grassroots event celebrating the best of British.
Despite hundreds of visiting partner primary school children attending this year, the festival's aim is to get bigger and better and spread the all-important message that diversity should be celebrated. This is Monica Plaha in Sutton Coldfield for the Midland.
Now, have you ever wanted to get some experience in the music or arts industry? Well, for those of you who have already tried, you'll know only too well just how difficult it actually is. But a new scheme, Project Sound Lounge, could be about to change your luck. Roshni Patel went to have a look.
So Project Sound Lounge is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for young people aged 16 to 25 to get involved with the Birmingham art scene, to create a festival all of their own, produce, market, programme completely from scratch.
I understand that getting experience within the music and arts industry is incredibly difficult. I mean, just what an opportunity is being presented here.
It's an amazing opportunity. It means you get first-hand, real-life experience. It's all your own ideas, all your own work, and it means you can create something that you're really proud of in the city, in Birmingham, showcasing art that you love.
Tell me about some of the things that you learn throughout the project.
You learn so much. So I was a programmer throughout the project, but then I also dabbled in marketing and producing. So I was able to cross over the different fields, learn so much about how you create a festival in the city. You get to learn from everyone here at Symphony Hall as well. You get to have workshops, industry talks. So you get to learn so much more than just what your singular role is.
And tell me about some of your favourite experiences from the project.
I think for me, having Malarkey on stage, who are a reggae dancehall band, on the Town Hall stage on a Saturday night in Birmingham with everyone dancing and screaming for more after they finished their set, I think that was a real highlight for me, and it really showed what the festival was all about.
This is a project which is exclusive to the West Midlands here at Symphony Hall. Does it also set youngsters within the West Midlands apart from other youngsters within the country?
I think definitely. I think when you have this experience, it's so much easier. It's the first step on your career. I now have a job out of this opportunity because I've learned so much and also gained in my confidence in the art sector.
Now, they've come to us in need of help and a safe haven. But all's not sitting well with a number of refugees being homed at one of Birmingham's hotels. It's believed that more than 200 asylum seekers are staying at the Paragon Hotel, which is a historic Grade 2 listed building. Now, residents in the city are calling on the Home Office to cut back the number of refugees coming into Highgate. Roshni Patel has been speaking to Councillor Tahir Ali.
Paragon Hotel is being used by the Home Office to house on a temporary basis single men that are seeking asylum. It is not the residents that have been complaining, it is the community of Highgate that have shown concerns. The concerns are twofold. One, that Paragon Hotel should not be used as a dumping ground, but they are not against asylum seekers. They would like to see a fair share of numbers being provided from Paragon. They'd be happy to support 40 or 50 single male in that hotel, but any more than that causes a lot of issues and tensions. At one point Paragon Hotel was housing 227 single men. It meant over a period of 4 to 6 weeks, police were called out about 64 times.
So it's not a case at all about residents within Birmingham not wanting to help these people who are seeking refuge?
Absolutely. The community of Highgate welcome people seeking asylum. They're saying keep the numbers to a manageable. 40 to 50 is something they would welcome. What the Home Office is doing is using the Paragon as a dumping ground for asylum seekers for the whole of West Midlands, for the whole of East Midlands, and for the whole of East of England. Now that is wrong. If they are spread across, then it wouldn't cause such a huge problem.
So, Councillor, where do we go from here? What are you trying to do?
I've called a meeting of all the stakeholders. We're trying to resolve this issue. If there is a HMO licence that's been submitted, it needs to be one that is manageable, it needs to be one that's workable, and it's one that needs to work for every town and city. So it's not about dispersing the problem from Paragon to another hotel or another part of the country. It's making sure that Home Office realises that they will not get away with bombarding one hotel with all the people and for that hotel to then become a centre of asylum seekers.
Now, have you ever had a niggling doubt in the back of your head that something isn't quite right but didn't think it was significant enough to report? Well, a new online reporting system has been developed by Safer Solihull to encourage members of the community to log in any information that they think could be valuable to solving a crime. Lois Swinnerton was in Solihull learning how important a role the community can play in tackling crime within the area.
You can basically report anything, any little bit of information that you see, something you hear, something you see. You might not think it's important, but the public can report it. So there's a form for the public and there's also a form for partners, of course, because they may come across information that could be very, very useful.
How does it encourage the public to actually report suspicious activity?
As I say, it might just be a little bit of information that people, it's there in the back of their mind, they're worried, but they don't quite know who to give the information to. It's not an emergency, they're not about to dial 999, but they just want to report it to the police, to just tell somebody, and then it's down to the police to act on that information and decide whether it's relevant or not.
And yeah, how important would you deem that if someone does have a feeling in the back of their mind? How important would you say it is for them to go online and actually register it?
It's really important to go online. It may be just a little snippet of information, something they've seen. They might see some activity that they think is not quite right. They don't quite know what to do with it, but it's really important that they pass it on, because it might be just that final chink, little link in the chain that means that we can break a case and the police have got information that they need.
And what do you hope to achieve from this report?
Well, again, it's just about gleaning more information, involving the community. It's about the community taking responsibility for where they live. They can play a really active role in reducing crime in an area and basically just getting everybody to be watching out for each other and make where they live a safer place.
Like I said, it's crucial in just fitting together those final pieces of information, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the police obviously get lots and lots of information, but the public are our eyes and ears, and they could just have that final piece of the jigsaw that links everything together.
Let's have a quick look ahead now at the weather outlook for the next few days. And this weekend we'll see milder, wetter weather spread northwards across most areas. And during the weekend, with some hill snow expected if you're going up north. And the start of the new week will be dry and cold at first, but milder conditions with outbreaks of rain or showers will soon spread to all parts. If you're heading down south, then you'll find the rain will be heavier, and there's also a risk of gales the further west and south you go. As we go through the week, some rain is still possible at times, but some longer dry periods are likely, with some sunshine by day and a risk of frost or fog overnight. By the end of the week, it will become more unsettled again, both locally and across the country, with rain and strong winds at times. And it's looking like it'll stay that way all the way through the following week, so I'm afraid we don't have much chance of a white Christmas, unfortunately. Right, that's it for part one, but stay with us because there's lots more to come, including a look at what's on across the region next week, and Carl Jones will be bringing us some of the news from the latest movies. Welcome back. Now, Sir Lenny Henry was back in his hometown of Dudley this week to unveil his Mobo Awards paving stone. The Mobo Paving the Way Award, which aims to celebrate influential people, was presented to Sir Lenny during a ceremony last month. Sir Lenny chose for his award to be laid at Buffrey Park, near to where he grew up. Monica Plaha went there and caught up with the man himself to find out why it's so special.
We played football here, first snog, first cigarette, first Northern Soul dancing, first impression of Tommy Cooper, all happened within feet of this bench. So I'm very proud to be here, very proud to have been chosen for the Mobo Paving the Way Awards. It's just, we crisscrossed this park for years and years and years throughout the summer holidays because there was no money to go on holiday. There was no kind of Costa del Sol for us. This is where I spent every holiday for years and years and years. So for there to be a paving stone, for us to have ruined their path is great. I'm so happy.
So Dudley will always have that special place in your heart.
Yeah, it's where I'm from. I'm never going to forget where I'm from. You know, you don't know where you're at until you've acknowledged where you're from, and that's why it's fit that the paving stone is here, and I'm very, very proud to be here.
And big congratulations on getting your royal recognition earlier this month. I mean, you must be literally going from strength to strength and very ecstatic.
I hope so. Well, it's almost like a signal, you know. I think that people should never give up. Somebody asking me, you know, have you got any advice for any future people who are trying to make it? And I just said, never give up, you know, persevere. It's the only thing that gets you through, to keep trying, to keep going, and not to wait to be asked to do something, just do it.
What are your plans now? What do you hope to do?
I'm going to just get this made into a belt buckle or an earring or something, you know, and I'm going to build a little fence around my paving stone. And I'm going to relax. It's nearly Christmas. What do you mean, what are my plans? I'm going to relax.
Now it's time to join Carl Jones from our movie magazine, Brummywood Yammywood, to see what's made it into this week's top 10 most popular films.
Let's take a quick look at the current box office top 10 in the West Midlands before we go. At number 10 is a film called Carol with Cate Blanchett, which has received a number of Golden Globe nominations this week. At number 9, Victor Frankenstein, starring Daniel Radcliffe and James McAvoy. Number 8, a Grinch-style festive story, Krampus. At number 7, The Lady in the Van, still going strong with Maggie Smith. At number 6, Black Mass with Johnny Depp, topping the bill as a drugs lord that you really don't want to mess with. Number 5, the film we talked about last week, that's Christmas with the Coopers. It's one of those ensemble pieces that tries to be a little bit like Love Actually, but doesn't quite hit the same sort of heights. At number 4, Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks are collaborating again on Bridge of Spies, which is based on a fascinating true story about a lawyer who went behind the Iron Curtain into East Germany to try and solve a crisis involving hostages on both sides of the Russian-American divide. At number 3, clinging on in the top 5, is Spectre, Daniel Craig's 4th Bond film, which doesn't look like it's quite going to scale the heights of Skyfall, but is nevertheless raking it in. At number 2, The Good Dinosaur, and this is a real good animated fun movie for people of all ages. And still at number 1 for the 3rd week in the West Midlands, it's the 4th part of the Hunger Games story, that's Mockingjay Part 2.
You're watching the Midland Weekend edition, and it's now time for Johnny Doom to bring us this week's music news from the AMP studio.
First up, Matt Sorum has spoken out about the death of his former Velvet Revolver bandmate Scott Whelan, saying that the singer should be remembered for his music and not his troubled personal life. Whelan was found dead on his band's tour bus last Thursday night, December the 3rd. The singer, who was 48 years old at the time, was on tour with his band The Wildabouts in Minnesota when he was found unresponsive shortly after 9 p.m. Sorum also talked in more detail about his feelings for the fallen ex-bandmate. He said, "I don't know how I felt initially, because I can't say I was shocked, but it was definitely, I wasn't expecting it, because I felt like Scott was going to be here, hopefully, for longer than this." Our thoughts go out to his friends, family, bandmates, and dedicated fans. In other news, Blackest Magic in Practice, the new Sam Scott Hunter-directed video from British extreme metalist Cradle of Filth, has been unleashed on the world. Blackest Magic in Practice is taken from Cradle of Filth's current album, Hammer of the Witches, which was released on July the 10th by Nuclear Blast. The CD marks the first release with Cradle of Filth's new lineup, which includes guitarist Ashok of Czech groups Root and Inner Fear, and Richard Shaw of English acts Emperor Chung and NG26. Let's have a look at it now in all its spooky glory. In other news, Motorhead main man Lemmy says that he's sick of being asked when he's going to die. Lemmy has dealt with some serious health issues recently, forcing the indulgent rock legend to scale back on alcohol and kick his cigarette habit. Though Lemmy's made some positive steps forward, he's been struggling with poor health in the recent months, leading to Motorhead's touring schedule being disrupted. But the 69-year-old rock icon claims that he's doing fine and just wants people to stop asking about his health. He told Classic Rock magazine, "I'm sick of 'Are you gonna die?' line of questioning. It's getting really old, that question. I'm all right. I'm going out there doing my best." And he added, "I have good days, bad days, but mostly I've been all right. The last tour in the States was very good." Lemmy, who will be 70 years old this month, told Classic Rock he has no intention of retiring, which is good news for all of us. Finally, Good Charlotte have released a new video for their track Makeshift Love. The song marks the first material from Joel Madden, Benji Madden, Billy Martin, Paul Thomas and Dean Butterworth since 2010 when they launched their fifth album, Cardiology. The band are going to be supporting All Time Low for a series of dates next year, so let's check out the new track, Good Charlotte.
Nights, the ones where you don't know me. If I could get this right, if I can get away from the old me, but I'll survive. Right now I'm dying just to breathe in, just to be alive, just to get away from the old me. There's only makeshift love tonight. There's a triage in my living room. She checks my vital signs. and opens up my wounds like I'm dying tonight, and the whole world is laughing like everyone I love is gone away. I'm dying tonight, but no one is crying. It's not alright, no matter what they say. I hate these fights.
Right, that's enough of that. Let's do the gigs. This week, more names have been added to the Download Festival 2016 bill, including Architects, Neck Deep, Twin Atlantic, Beartooth and Killswitch Engage. Joining headliners Rammstein, Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden at Donington Park on Friday 10th of June are Amity Affliction, Counting Days, Gutta Dammerung, Havoc, Killswitch Engage, Skillet, Twin Atlantic, Fort Hope. Saturday the 11th, you've got Architects, Atreyu, Beartooth, Black Foxes, Dead Down, Milk Teeth, Neck Deep, Rival Sons, Skindred, Tesseract and Lawnmower Death. And Sunday 12th of June you've got Attila, Billy Talent, Breaking Benjamin, Delane, Don Broco, Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, Ghost Gajira, Hailstorm, Saxon Shinedown, Tremonti and more. The announcement rounds off a seriously killer lineup, also consisting of Korn, Deftones, Nightwish, Disturbed, Motorhead and Megadeth. Anyway, Download Festival 2016 takes place at Donington Park, 10th to the 12th of June, so don't miss out. Thursday, December the 10th, you've got death metal as well, black and death metal as Belphegor at Wolverhampton Slade Rooms. Friday, December the 11th, sees The Darkness at the O2 Academy, Clutch at the Wolverhampton Wolfram Hall and Mark Tremonti at the Institute Birmingham. Saturday, December the 12th is Def Leppard, Whitesnake and Black Star Riders at the NEC, Don Broco at the Wolverhampton Wolfront, Lower Than Atlantis at the Institute Birmingham. In fact, let's have a look at some Lower Than Atlantis. This is their fantastic single, Here We Go, on Amped.
So I've been told a long time ago, a giant lived, now he sleeps. The legend goes that when the creature shows, they'll bring a gift the world can keep.
OK, we're going to take a short break now, but when we come back we'll have the community notice board, we'll take a look at what's on around the area, and Lee will have a delving into the post bag.
OK, it's time now to have a look at the community notice board for this week. It's all about what's going on local to you, so if you know of something happening which could do with a bit of free publicity, then why don't you get in touch with us?
Make sure you tell us in plenty of time and we'll tell you about how you can get in touch with us again a little bit later.
Now, next weekend, Saturday the 19th, there's a special Star Wars Saturday event taking place at Tipton Library. I bet you're looking forward to that.
Oh, yes, I am. Might go out and buy a lightsaber. There's face painting, crafts, a games club, and the chance to meet the whole range of Star Wars characters and have a Star Wars selfie.
Sounds intriguing. If you want to find more about that, then why don't you get in touch with Robert Hazel at Tipton Library on 0121 557 1796, and may the Force be with you.
Next, Carers UK are holding their next coffee morning very soon. They are a local charity who provide help and support to carers who look after family, partners or friends in need of help because they are ill, frail or have a disability, and the care they provide is unpaid.
Now, if you're a carer and you'd like to meet others in a similar situation, then why don't you join the coffee morning on Monday the 21st of December between 10 a.m. and midday. Now, that's at the United Reformed Church on Brassington Avenue in Sutton Coldfield.
Everyone's welcome, so carers can pop along for a cake, coffee and a chat. For more information, call 0121 355 1006.
Now, a total of 69 projects across the West Midlands have a great excuse to kickstart the festive season as they share in over £3.5 million.
Contact a Family is awarded £299,550 for a project to provide support and advice to families across the Midlands with children aged nothing to 19 with disabilities.
Now, this includes those with long-term and life-threatening medical conditions, behavioural difficulties, rare disorders, sensory impairments and mental health issues.
The scheme will offer families a range of workshops and drop-in support, including coping and managing stress, challenging behaviour, finance and education.
And the project aims to reduce isolation and improve emotional well-being for thousands of families.
Anna Wim is awarded £403,684 to expand a project providing counselling, trauma support and resettlement help for women offenders after leaving prison.
Now, this is going to be delivered in prison and also through an outreach service with crisis support for street sex workers.
The scheme will include advice on housing, benefits, reuniting with children and drug and alcohol services.
It'll also offer a drop-in service providing advice, food, toiletries and support with accommodation.
Sports Pursuits is awarded £9,994 for a project in Solihull to run sports sessions for people recovering from the effects of substance misuse.
And this will help improve life chances and support people on the move to recovery.
The awards have been made through the Big Lottery Fund's Awards for All and Reaching Communities programmes.
Now, Awards for All provides grants between £300 and £10,000 to voluntary and community organisations, and Reaching Communities awards larger grants of £10,000 and above for more long-term projects.
For more information on the funding available, visit www.biglotteryfund.org.uk/funding.
Now, a reading corner and books worth over £1,000 has been presented to Penn's Primary School in Sutton Coldfield for winning the West Midlands 1 Million Minutes Challenge.
That's a bit of a tongue twister. Over 2,900 children from primary schools across the country battled it out during November in the contest to see which class could read for the most minutes in just 1 week.
Yep, and Year 6 from Penn's Primary were crowned the winners after topping the leaderboard in the competition run by leading education charity Achievements for All.
Representatives from Achievement for All and sponsors Peter's Books and Furniture officially opened the Reading Corner on Monday the 7th of December to celebrate the class's achievement in reading for a staggering 17,449 minutes.
That is pretty impressive, isn't it?
That's a lot of reading.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, the 1 million minute challenge involved 98 classes, making it the biggest ever reading challenge to hit the West Midlands.
I'm not surprised. All 2,900 children involved in the challenge from across the West Midlands read for a combined total of a spectacular 329,443 minutes.
Good grief. Altogether, over 24,000 children have taken part across Somerset, Berkshire, Nottingham and Derby, Wiltshire, Lancashire and the West Midlands, reading for a combined total of, get this, 2,856,289 minutes. How
That's a lot of time, that is. You can have some kids with sore eyes. For more information, have a look at http readongeton.org.uk.
That's the one. Yeah. Now, 5 of Birmingham's children's libraries are set for a New Year makeover, thanks to £250,000 worth of funding from the Wolfson Foundation.
The Wolfson Foundation is a charity that has been supporting and promoting excellence in the fields of science, health, education and the arts for 60 years.
Now, as well as decorating and new furniture, the libraries will receive new technology for funding for local history projects and storytelling events.
Yeah, history projects, that's good.
Your bag?
Yeah, it is. New equipment will include iPads and Android devices. Androids are better, obviously. Plasma screens, DSLR cameras, laptops, Wii and the latest Raspberry Pi.
I like Raspberry Pis, yeah. Now, the 5 children's libraries earmarked for the funding are Balsall Heath, Druids Heath, Kings Norton, Kings Standing and Small Heath.
Work will start in January and some of the libraries will begin their temporary closures over the Christmas period so that staff can prepare the libraries for decoration and new furnishings.
Now, exact closure dates will be released nearer the time and they'll be available at the libraries themselves or by checking online at libraryofbirmingham.com/libraries.
And returning to the subject of parking. Stress-free parking advice on tap thanks to a handy new well, not iPhone, phone app, backed by Sandwell Council and Birmingham City Council.
Stress-free parking, is that possible?
Oh,
well, this
need it.
app actually gives drivers instant information about every council car park and parking bay in the borough. So you know where and how long you can park your car even before you switch off the engine.
It even features turn-by-turn navigation to get to the parking space. Or is that actually helping people get into the parking space?
Who can tell? But if you want to find out, then motorists can get the free app from the Appy Parking website. It's available for both iOS and Android. Do you like that, Appy Parking?
It's a bit of a catchy name, isn't it? Every detail from parking charges, disabled bays, motorbike bays and loading zones, as well as the controlled hours, is listed on the app.
And the aim is to help drivers plan their journeys and give people peace of mind about the best time and place to park, especially for visitors travelling to the area for business or pleasure who aren't familiar with borough parking.
That's not too bad, actually. So, that's your community news for this week. So remember, if there's something going on locally which could do with a little boost by being mentioned on the telly, then you know where we are. It's a free service and we'll try to get through as many as we can. Just let us know in plenty of time. You can email postbag@bigcentre.tv. You can send us a message on social media @BigCentre TV, or you can write to...
You can write to the address, good old-fashioned pen and paper, Big Centre TV, 14A Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL.
Right then, let's take a look at the weekend. And on Saturday, there's a great night of music for Frank Sinatra fans at the Symphony Hall, where tonight the Manchester Concert Orchestra, with guest singers Ian McKenzie and Georgina Jackson, celebrate what would have been good old Blue Eyes' 100th birthday. Wow.
Yeah.
With a concert of songs and music made famous by old Blue Eyes. You can't go wrong with a bit of Frank, can you?
No.
Can't go wrong with a bit of Frank.
Right, never mind old bar humbug here. There's loads of Christmas fairs and events. And here's just a few highlights. The back-to-backs on Hurst Street, you know those?
The houses.
Yes. They'll be visited by Santa, having a look at how we would have decorated our homes in times gone by. The Mac have a Christmas craft market over the weekend, and the Newman Brothers Coffin Works in the Jewellery Quarter will take you on a festive journey around the factory, retelling the Dickens classic A Christmas Carol. That's right up your street, that one, isn't it?
I love the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I like the musical version they did back in late 70s, early 80s. That's the only thing I did. I thought that was quite good. I thought the songs were quite good in that. But apart from that, Christmas humbug.
Oh.
If you're a gaming enthusiast, then head over to the NEC this weekend for Insomnia 56. There's an incredible roster of special guests plus gaming areas, Q&A sessions, tournaments, and an exhibition hall full of brand new games and anoraks.
Yeah, and one of the biggest growing business. I mean, it's still turning over millions of pounds a year. I used to work in the games industry.
I've never got into it, never had one of those, was it a PlayStation I used to call them or something like that? Or
No. More time to do. Get out and play in the...
Get out and play. Get yourself a broken twig from a tree and bend it in half, get some string around it, make a bow and arrow.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we used to do
Shoot
when we were
somebody's
kids.
eye out.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Absolutely brilliant.
Football, that's what you need to do. Get out and play some football. Right, now, I have a lady friend who just did one of these events and she totally loved it.
And I've seen the invoice.
Yeah, although I'm not sure I fancy it myself, but over at Stourbridge Arena, White Collar Gladiators is made up of people who have never boxed before, then after 8 weeks training take part in a bout against an evenly matched opponent, all in the name of charity.
There's quite a few of those go on. And they're good fun, actually. They're good fun. It's also, talking about white collar and people who have boxed before, it's quite surprising if you go to some of the cage fights that go on. I know they do them now and again. They're well controlled and all proper and everything at the Irish Centre in Digbeth. But you get those like lawyers, accountants, teachers, suits by day, cage fight by night.
Fantastic.
Well, it's good. Right, and here's a weird combination happening at Birmingham Cathedral on Saturday night. Comedians and carols, stand up and song. An interesting concept, and according to the blurb, there's no age restrictions. So that'd be a bit...
Maybe you have to keep it clean. Well, you would do in the cathedral, really, wouldn't you? I suppose.
What difference does it make?
I don't know.
They're probably there. It just... You know, it's good atmosphere, good acoustics. Most cathedrals and churches, haven't they, for singing?
Yeah.
So that's probably why they've gone there.
Yeah. Right, Sunday, and how about this one? Ken Dodd at the Wolverhampton Civic Hall.
So he's when? He's there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. Now I put this. It starts at 7 o'clock. But one thing to remember: make sure you leave plenty of time to get home because he never stops.
No.
Never stops. I've been to see him a couple of times. I worked with him one time, and you don't get out until about midnight, and he's still going.
Well, when he's on the Hippodrome in the past, he started like at 7 or 8, and he's still going on at 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
people have missed the bus home, the trains have stopped running.
Fantastic,
brilliant. He's good, and he's still going.
Yeah,
and he's a few innuendos, but he's still a clean comic.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still good.
Yeah.
He's still good. I always laugh at his joke. He says, "Oh, poke a cucumber through the letterbox and say the Martians have landed." I love that one. And this sounds good. There's a jazz carol service at St Martin's in the Bullring starting at 4:30 in the afternoon, featuring favourite carols but with a jazz twist performed by the Jazz Church Big Band.
Be interesting. Nice place, St Martin's Church in the Bullring. Now, we've mentioned the People's Orchestra on What's On before, and this time they're inviting you to join in and sing along as they play pieces from animated classics such as Frozen, Little Mermaid and Tangled, while you watch clips from the films, and that's at West Bromwich Town Hall.
I don't know. People have been going on about this film Frozen. I've never seen it. I don't know the songs.
No.
I suppose it's for kids and
it is,
yeah. Probably why then.
Right, now it's time to delve into the postbag to see what you've been saying to us. And remember, if you want to get in touch about anything at all, I'll give you the details in a couple of minutes. First up, yes, the rumours are true. Crossroads is coming back for Christmas. Everybody cheer. Well, we've managed to sort out a small selection of episodes and we're showing them across 2 consecutive Sundays over Christmas, on the 27th of December and then again on the 3rd of January. Now, each week there'll be 3 classic editions and I've put together 2 brand new editions of the Crossroads Check-In magazine programme to kick things off on each of the weeks. Now, it's featuring some lovely sections of a brand new interview that I did with Jane Rossington too, so plenty to look forward to there. So for the next couple of weeks, if you want to let me know your favourite Crossroads memories, then do get them in and I'll bring them to you in postbag over Christmas. Now, last week, Sir Lenworth George Henry received his knighthood from the Queen, as well as a commemorative paving slab in Buffrey Park in Dudley, where he grew up. And Lenny has obviously been featured on Big Centre TV quite a lot over the past few months in our special compilations of Tis Was Pies Again. So we asked you on Facebook who else you thought deserved a gong, and your replies were really quite interesting. Now, Nigel Southall said Bob Warman from Off the News, Julie Walters too. Junior Coke suggested Noddy Holder, or our very own Mike Prince, 50 years in broadcasting. Mike deserves this and his charity work too. Nick Burton suggests Noddy Holder, Roy Wood, Jasper Carrott. How much has Jasper Carrott put into Brum and the West Midlands, putting them on the map? Philip Pegg says, I believe that people who help others less fortunate than themselves be awarded for their work. Ed Doolan falls into that. I would have no problem awarding Ed a knighthood. He's a legend. He's helped more people than I care to mention. A great brummie and person. What a lovely tribute. Julie Gunn says Ozzy Osbourne. Now that would also be awesome. Tim Matthew Rowbottom suggests the poet Benjamin Zephaniah. Colin Carberry suggests Jeff Lynne. Now, if he's good enough for the Beatles to work with, then he's good enough to get a knighthood. Nice one. Pamela Rowe says, got to be Julie Walters. She's been amazing in everything that she's done. Patricia Coburn suggests Jeff Hill from the electrical shop in Amblecote. He helps a lot of small charities, donating a percentage of his profits. Carl Bradley says definitely Jasper Carrott and Bob Warman. Philip Pegg suggests Ed Doolan, the radio broadcaster. Patricia Ann Callaghan says Ian Lavender and Julie Walters. Chris Selby suggests Noddy Holder. Barry Luckhurst says, damn it, Noddy Holder. Andy Smith says Robert Plant, Noreen Bennett, Shirley Beckett, Julie Gunn, Bev Bevan. Nice list there. And Martin David says Julie Walters definitely. So it seems to be Julie Walters and Noddy Holder getting the bulk of your votes. But who else do you think deserves one of the big awards? Do let us know. Next, Diane Sutherland got in touch to say, a few weeks ago you kindly mentioned Birmingham City Street Services and how they were supporting raising awareness of neurofibromatosis. The gentleman from BCC, Paul Laythorpe, Baljit Sahota and Kevin Griggs from Urbis Schreider won a Chamberlain Local Hero Award for their efforts. The ceremony was hosted by Jasper Carrott, so please give them a mention that they've really helped raise the profile of our charity and the condition. Well, there you go, happy to help. OK then, it's time now for the second in our series of How to Talk Black Country. And once again, a big thanks to Marlene Beavis for sending these in. And remember, if you have anything to add or any corrections, then I'll tell you how you can get in touch very shortly. So then, today we're looking at the letter B, and the first word is babbies. Now this has two meanings, both of which mean the same thing, but they also have a different meaning, if you see what I mean. Anyway, babbies means babies. The first meaning is factual, the second meaning is an insult. So if you were to say, the babbies are bawling again, that means the baby's crying again. It's kind of chauvinistic in that it's usually followed by a request for someone to look after the baby. And I'll leave that one there, I think. The second meaning goes in such phrases as, "Do yo be a babby?" which essentially means there's nothing to be scared of. Work that out. And of course we had the word bawling in the first example, which simply refers to somebody crying profusively. Or profusely even. Next is the word ballies, which is a simple pronunciation for the word stomach. Okay, got that? Good. Okay, now we're on to the word bonk. Now, a few years ago, you'd have been told off for using such a term, but this word actually goes back to times before the tabloid newspapers of the 80s and 90s, which is a good job, really, because the first example I have for you is, "One of these days that bonk will kill me." And it's basically referring to a hill, or a bank of a hill, which is why some people refer to Quarry Bonk. Although oddly, I've never heard them use the term Briley Bonk. Maybe I just haven't been listening. Anyway, I've certainly heard of Barclays Bonk, Lloyd's Bonk and the Bonk of Scotland, but that's going off in another direction altogether. And finally, we have a couple of bosters, and that's actually the first of the two. Now, bosters refers to something which is great. So someone or something can be either a boster or bostin, like the bear. And then we have backwards, which is when something is the opposite way around, or backwards. Got it? Good. More next week. So there you go. If you'd like to suggest some more Black Country words or sayings, or if you know of different versions to the ones I've given, do get in touch. And if you want to talk to us about anything at all, what you're enjoying on the station, what you'd like to see, then on social media, that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, do search for Big Centre TV. Email us postbag@bigcentre.tv, or if you want to put pen to paper in the good old-fashioned way, then I'll try and click my fingers and get the address. Almost. Big Centre TV, 14A Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. And I'll be delving into the good old Big Centre postbag at the same time next week.
Thanks, Leah, kid. And that's the Midland Weekend edition. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Or as they say in the Black Country, try a bit.